There's a version of happiness that feels dangerous. Not the happiness you earned, not the happiness after a promotion or a wedding or a goal finally met. The other kind, the Tuesday afternoon kind. The kind that shows up while you're washing a dish or driving with the windows down, for no reason at all. And instead of relaxing into it, some part of you flinches. You felt it, that flicker of, wait, why am I okay right now? Followed almost instantly by a quieter, colder thought, this isn't going to last. Or worse, I don't deserve this yet. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly where that flinch comes from, not as a character flaw, as a wiring pattern with a very specific origin. And you'll see why the fix isn't just enjoy the moment, because that advice has never once worked on you. There's a reason for that too. Think about the last time you felt unexpectedly good and immediately looked for the catch. Maybe you caught yourself smiling on a normal day and thought, okay, what am I forgetting? Maybe things at work were finally calm, and instead of resting, you started scanning for what was about to go wrong. Maybe someone said, you seem happy lately, and you almost apologized. This isn't sadness, it's something stranger. Happiness that arrives and guilt that follows it like a shadow with no light source. Over time, this does something quiet but corrosive to your identity. You start associating good with unstable. You start trusting struggle more than you trust peace, because struggle at least makes sense to you. You become someone who braces for joy instead of receiving it. And here's the part that stings. You start to suspect that maybe you're just built wrong, that other people feel good and simply feel good, and you feel good and immediately start managing it like a threat. You're not built wrong. You're running a very old program, and it made complete sense the day it was installed. Here's what almost no one tells you about guilt. It isn't just about doing something wrong. Guilt is also a loyalty signal. It's the mind's way of saying, this doesn't match who I've been, this doesn't match what I've earned, this doesn't match the story I've been living inside. If pain, effort, or struggle once defined your sense of self, even quietly, even years ago, then unexplained happiness doesn't feel like relief. It feels like disloyalty, like you're betraying the version of you that fought so hard to survive something. This isn't dysfunction, it's consistency. Your mind is trying to keep your inner story coherent, and right now, effortless happiness doesn't fit the plot. That's not weakness, that's a system doing exactly what it was built to do, protect identity continuity, even at the cost of your comfort. To understand this fully, you need to understand two things working together: prediction and identity consistency. Your brain isn't actually built to make you happy. It's built to make the world predictable. Every experience you have gets compared against a kind of internal forecast, a rough model of what usually happens to someone like you. If you grew up in an environment where calm was often followed by chaos, a fight after a quiet dinner, a bad mood after a good week, your brain learned a pattern. Peace is the pause before impact. That's not superstition, that's pattern recognition. Your brain did its job. Now, years later, even in a life that's genuinely safer, that old forecasting model still runs quietly in the background, like outdated weather software still predicting storms in a climate that's changed. Here's the mental model to hold on to. Imagine your sense of self as a thermostat, not a mood. A thermostat isn't trying to make the room happy, it's trying to keep the room at whatever temperature it's calibrated to. If your nervous system was calibrated in a home where tension was normal, then happiness doesn't register as good. It registers as offsetting, too warm, unfamiliar, something to correct. So your mind, trying to be helpful, pulls you back to the temperature it knows, sometimes through guilt, sometimes through self-sabotage, sometimes through picking a fight or finding something to worry about right when things go still. It's not punishing you, it's recalibrating you back to normal, its version of normal, not yours. This isn't about forcing yourself to just enjoy the moment. That instruction assumes your nervous system already trusts good moments. It doesn't yet. So instead, here's how you actually shift the set point. Name the guilt out loud specifically. When the flinch happens, say, even silently, this is old pattern guilt, not present tense truth. Why it works. Labeling emotion activates the calmer reasoning part of the brain and quiets the alarm response. Putting language on a feeling reduces its intensity almost immediately. Real-life example. You're laughing with a friend and the guilt creeps in. Instead of shutting the laugh down, you think this is the old forecast talking, not the room. The moment often loosens its grip within seconds. Let happiness be boring sometimes. Deliberately experience small, pleasant moments without narrating them, analyzing them, or bracing them to end. Why it works. Repetition without disaster is how the brain updates its predictions. The nervous system needs evidence, not arguments, to revise its forecast. Real-life example. You drink your coffee on the balcony for 5 minutes without checking your phone or waiting for something to interrupt it. Nothing happens. That nothing is the data your brain has been missing. Separate identity from struggle. Ask yourself, if I stopped struggling, would I still know who I am? Why it works. When identity has been built around effort or hardship, ease can feel like disappearing. This interrupts that fusion by giving the mind proof that you exist independent of your pain. Real-life example. You notice you feel most yourself when overwhelmed and start intentionally naming other traits, curious, steady, observant, that exist even in calm moments. Let good things be undeserved. Stop requiring happiness to be earned before you allow it. Why it works. The belief that comfort must be justified is a mental shortcut, not a moral law. Removing the requirement removes the guilt attached to it. Real-life example. A good day happens with no clear cause. Instead of hunting for the reason, you let it stay unexplained, like weather, not a verdict. Track small evidence of safety. Keep a short, ongoing mental list of calm periods that didn't collapse into chaos. Why it works. This directly rebuilds the internal forecasting model with updated data, slowly teaching your nervous system that peace can hold. Real-life example. You notice it's been months since a good week was followed by disaster, and let that fact quietly outweigh the old fear. Here's the model to carry with you. You are not broken for flinching at happiness. You're a thermostat calibrated by an old environment, still trying to keep you safe in a climate that has already changed. The guilt isn't proof you don't deserve peace. It's evidence that peace is new, and new things always feel unfamiliar before they feel normal. You don't need to force joy. You need to keep giving your nervous system small, repeated proof that things can stay okay. Somewhere along the way, you learned that calm was something to be careful around. You don't have to unlearn that today. You just have to notice it the next time you feel good for no reason, and instead of pulling away from it, stay a little longer than guilt wants you to. That's how the set point moves. Not all at once, one undefended moment at a time.